while they're thinking about their questions, I have one question. Hey, Mr. Jerome, does Banco make money? Will you be able to sustain this business model?
The answer is barely, but yes. We made sure that we do not just provide this service on a stopgap period, but really be able to sustain. We had to go through an expensive learning process, as this is not our first attempt to do this, but it is what it is. And in any research, in any business model, we have to make bets. And really, what you treasure in all of those failures would have been the lessons learned. So, your question, yes, with the model that we are now doing, and we made strategic decisions to make sure that we, in fact, will be able to sustain this. One classic example there is we will not, for now, service startups. So at least we want to help those who have been around for at least 2 years. So for our initial model, is where we wanted to play, and really influenced by us wanting to make this service sustainable and not just be able to help a few, and that's it.
So just a follow-up, since no one's asking it. So why not startups yet?
Thank you for that. The reason really is our studies would also tell us, and this is widely accessible. Most startups fail, right? In fact, we have gone through that as well. We had very expensive and painful growth. So much so that we know that only after 2 years would have been done. After a short period, will you be able to say really that you have some comfort in the business?
Yes.
Good morning, sir. I'm Christina Nagit from Holy Angel University from Pampanga. There are so many MSMEs po in our province, and one of the greatest challenge of these MSMEs is that when they go to banks, they're normally confronted with a lot of requirements. So how do you encourage them to resort to getting financial source of fund from you, rather than getting them from the Bombay, the mga 5-6? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Pampanga is very close to our hearts. Pampanga, Angeles being one of our pilot branches. And in fact, if it was not successful in Angeles, we probably would not have grown in as many locations. So thank you to the people of Pampanga. I think we now have about 10 branches in Pampanga alone. To your question, how do we encourage them to come to us? First, we reach out to them. Each of our branches would have 3 people who are almost always out, reaching out to the self-employed entrepreneurs. Us knowing that they in fact won't come to the branch to even talk to us. And if they do, it's at the price of leaving their businesses without any, or closing their businesses because nobody will be there to take care of it. So we don't want that. So we go out and reach out to them. We are located basically a few steps away from the public markets. So they can actually come to us anytime, and in fact our team can go to them anytime. Our Bank Kumares and Bank Kumpares do not just go there to offer loans. They give advice. And in fact, we tell them, this much is not something that you can afford to do. And it's really not just the amount that we want to push, but tell them what they in fact can afford. So all of this are the interventions that we do so that we in fact are able to reach out to them. And if we can convince them that the requirements that we ask of them, and these are not the requirements of bigger banks, what they have are only barangay permits. They don't register in DTI. That's why the DTI number of 900,000 is not complete. What the market that we serve only have barangay permits. And our people go to them and do an ocular and do the underwriting by really going to their place of work. Unlike bigger banks where you submit your payslip, they do some calls and that's that. You submit your titles and they do verification and do an assessment based on what data that they have and that's that. For this market, you really have to go to them, ask their neighbors, ask the neighboring business how they fare, talk to their suppliers, talk to their clients. And that's how you create the cash flow and be able to identify how much they can afford and really the true amount of loan that they can and should borrow. So that's how we play in this space, and hopefully with those we in fact can be relevant to them. Thank you.
Hi sir, good morning. I'm Cheryl Jimenez from Salle University. I'm just curious, was BAoM as an initiative by BBI part of its CSR strategy, or is it part really of a strategic growth area?
Tough question, but it's both. It's both. Like I said, it is 52.8 million of the population, so it cannot not be social responsibility. We invest a lot. We've invested a lot. In fact, slightly a lot more than at least on the physical structures on the branches that are meant to take care of the higher segments. We only have, in the 167 years of BPI, we only had like 900 branches built. For this segment alone, we are growing 200 branches in 2 years. So the investment alone is not small. So it cannot be denied that it is part of a corporate social responsibility. But it being sustainable means that it too has benefit to us. And we, as businessmen, need to make sure that that happens, not only for the market that we serve, because we cannot be here like a year, 2 years, and not be around after, but also so that our shareholders will be happy with the strategic decisions that we make. So, thank you for that.
I think we can entertain 1 to 2 questions.
I have one for Dr. Tan. You're aware that at LaSalle we do have the resources to support research. That's the reason why we have made substantial gains over the past few years. But we're also aware that this is not necessarily the case for many universities in the country. And you've seen how they operate. I wonder whether you have some thoughts about how we can promote research given the constraints that most universities in the country have.
Thanks for that question. I think that's interesting from a management perspective as well. Firstly, it does require, as I said, some commitment on the part of the individuals. And one of the most basic things you can do, for which financial support is often actually available, is to do graduate studies. doctorate programs are essentially intended to provide training for research. If that's already been done, you earn your degree and it's still partly problematic as to where to get resources, I think one of the things that can be done is collaboration. And just like if you were an actor or actress starting out, you don't get the starting roles immediately when you would play small roles in films. Using that analogy, I think research teams which cut across different universities or different countries for that matter will often need human resources in specific locations. So you can leverage specific advantages like being in Bataan, for example. There might be some collaborator with interest in that geographic region. You sort of raise your hand and say, we can help out in this project. And of course that really gets your foot in the door. And one of the things from the perspective of a researcher who's trying to push for change within an organization, and to put more resources. If you were the faculty member, it would be essential to initially show some results, initial gains, to convince management to put in more resources. So one of the things you can do is be creative, leverage on collaborations like this, and that can expand the financial resources that go into research. I think that's one way by which we can start things.
Good morning. I'm Ramon V. I'm a student, a graduate graduate student here in DLSU. My question is for Mr. Jerome. How do you ensure that payments are actually made? And like, what's the attrition rate when it comes to payment? Thank you.
There's no assuring that they will pay, especially in this market. The most you can do is be around often. Because in this space, you cannot also assure that you're the only lender. So you have to be around, and in fact, that's why we call ourselves Bank Kumpare, Bank Kumare. It's really a kumpare is the person you talk to for it's basically the confidant apart from your family, and sometimes more than your family. So that's what we want to present ourselves as advisors, as friends, so much so that if they have problems, they can tell us. So we can arrange a scheme that will fit their circumstances and the developments that are happening. If they have children who suddenly get sick, so they need to spend more on that rather than pay us, then at least we're informed and we can play and adjust accordingly. That's the most we can do. But in this segment, really there's no assurance. That's why not a lot of people are investing and putting their money here. But again, there has to be something greater than just not making money to push people to this segment and this business model. Now on the rate, I cannot give you that now, but what I can tell you is based on the pilot and based on projections, we are half of the projections. So the insight there is people are more conscious of their obligations in truth rather than based on what we hear outside. Because what we hear outside and on the pilots that we've done, would have told us a higher number, would have pointed to a higher number. But with all of these interventions, really coming in team and really presenting yourself as an advisor rather than just a businessman wanting to make money out of you, it resonates and they give you benefit and pay because you're that person rather than just a businessman.
One last question.
This is for two very good speakers. By the way, my name is Alvin Gutierrez from Salle University. For Bangko, one of my question is, are there any future plans of partnering perhaps with academia or with some cooperatives? Because one of the things that we want to have is to achieve competitiveness, profitability, and growth. Looking at the concerns or constraints that you have shared of the program, how are we looking at those types of interventions in the future so that these people, not just only they get the credit, but they also get the know-how of really improving their business and making them competitive in the market? That's first. And then for Sir later that's a good question. Okay, for Dr. Tan, looking at the profile of our university, there are a handful of faculty members that are coming from foreign universities or graduated from foreign universities. And yet one of the, I would say, suggestion is to really come up with linkages with these universities. However, there's very minimal things being optimized. Are there any future plans of the BCRI office to how to enlarge this in a bigger scale to improve our research productivity and partnerships with other universities? That's all. Thank you.
On your question on cooperatives and partnership with cooperatives, in any business, what we really are very careful of is the temptation to be everything for everyone. Through there are opportunities in partnerships with cooperatives and microfinance organizations for us to reach out to a lot more. But there has to be a discipline of sorts to make sure that what you do and all interventions and initiatives that you do will not depart from what you design your service to be. So for PAoMs, we continue to talk to them, but not for credit, but rather for us to help them collect, because they too lend out, but for them to collect from their members. And that's on the deposit and savings and payment side rather than on the credit side. So for that, we can allow them to be merchants of Bangko so that whoever will self-enroll and be able to get a Bangko account can pay their PAoMs via the app or the facility that we have. For now, that's what we are looking at. But on credit, the temptation is there, but we want to really focus on the model that we said we will do for them. Thank you.
Okay, so I think that ends our session. I'm sorry, Dr. Tan.
I'll make this very quick because we're eager to close the session. I don't want to go into details, but we do have some programs which are meant to provide individual faculty members with more resources to engage in networking, which eventually leads to future productivity. So the idea now is not so much command and control sort of system, but tools and mechanisms by which we can empower you as individuals to go out of your way to meet people, work with them, and so on and so forth. The idea then is, of course, it does require commitment on the part of individuals to utilize those mechanisms, and they'll be announced very soon, maybe before the calendar year ends.